Y'all, how's my hair? Is it looking okay? How are your hairs? Your hair's looking good too.
How's mine?
Looks good.
Okay. We're going to start now. Is everyone in their positions?
Hold on, I gotta fix my hair. Give me a second. It's just really bugging me. Okay. God, you guys have no idea the struggle to have so much hair.
You got it. I love you. Come.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Latchkey Friends podcast. It is so good to be back. And why it's even better to be back than ever before, we are joined by our friend, Caleb Holt. Caleb, hello. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Liz, how do you feel? This is our first cat that we've ever had in the episode.
I'm feeling really good about it. I feel like Goose is a really good cat to have here. I'm honored to have Goose.
If you have to have a cat, it might as well be this one. He's all right.
Yeah, he's just okay.
It's not just a Zoom background.
No, a very fancy Zoom background.
I am worried that Goose is going to eat those fish, though, in that bowl. He's looking at them very intently.
Well, is there only one left? Holy cow.
He was hungry. So, Liz, today I want us to talk about a topic. We've talked about a lot of things on this podcast. I think this is going to be like episode 16-ish. So we've covered a lot of ground. This is going to be the first time we've talked about a very interesting topic, which is romance.
My favorite topic,
but
romance.
It's not just romance. It's a very specific type of romance. Bromance.
I'm okay. I was going to say something, but I stopped myself. I can't remember what age group we do this podcast for.
Bromance.
Romances. Okay.
And
romance. That's a special type of romance.
Yeah.
The bromance is very special.
It feels special.
And I would say that for me, the most intimate romantic relationship I've been in is with Caleb.
Oh my gosh. Look at Caleb blushing a little bit.
I'm glad we're talking about this today.
Caleb feels very uncomfortable, and we hope all of our listeners and viewers will help Caleb along because he's doing great. For those who can't see him, he's looking strong, looking tough. His cat Gustav is in the background eyeing a fishbowl. We don't know how this is going to end well.
He'll be okay. The nice thing about goldfish is they're very inexpensive.
And you guys have been introduced to Caleb. Okay.
That's Caleb.
So, Liz, I want to tell you.
I would like to know how your bromance started. Where did this beautiful bromance start?
I've known Caleb for approximately, I'm going to say 14 years.
14 years already.
Pretty specific.
What's the 14-year anniversary? Is that like wood or
it's goldfish?
Goldfish?
Goldfish.
And the goldfish are gone. I met Caleb 14 years ago at work. Caleb has what you might call a polarizing personality.
That is so kind. That is such a great way to put that.
Caleb told us earlier he hasn't made a new friend in 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that, Caleb?
I know all the people I need to know. I have all the friends I need to have. My life feels pretty complete. I'm good.
And it takes a lot to be able to say that, to identify you've got what you need and you're good. So I snuck in 14 years ago. He was still accepting new friends.
Yeah.
You just barely made it in.
There was
I was passively looking. I was not actively looking.
And it was okay that he was passively looking because we sat in adjacent cubicles. So he didn't have to turn very far. Caleb has a polarizing personality. Some people love him, some people don't, exactly. And it can change minute to minute.
How could you not love Caleb? He seems so sweet.
Usually it's spending time with me that does it.
Oh, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so Caleb and I became friends and close friends, and the type of friends who would like drive each other to the airport.
Oh, that's cute.
So we hung out, we did things. Caleb has been one of my concert buddies. We went on Streetlight. We went inside of Streetlight Manifesto's touring bus together.
Yeah. We got to hang out with the group before the show. It was magical for half of us.
Yeah, it was magical for you.
For me. I thought it was very cool, but it was a pretty big deal for Spencer. So I was enjoying that more than the interactions with the band that I was increasingly familiar with.
Yeah. Was he fangirling?
No, not at all. He actually just blended right in.
They didn't have hair
kicked
either?
Back. Spencer, he was cool as a cucumber in that van. He just kicked back, talked to them about their music, about their influences. Mm-hmm. They contradicted almost everything he said. I still remember he's like, so you guys were influenced by is it Real Big Fish?
I don't know.
Or Big Fish? Some fish. And they're like, no, not at all.
Oh,
okay.
They put me in my place. So Caleb's been my music buddy. Caleb is a movies guy. We've gone to a lot of movies together. Most recently, Caleb invited me over to his home to watch an Andre the Giant documentary. It was fantastic.
Ooh.
It was so good.
That's awesome.
So we do lots of stuff together. So it wasn't weird when it was weird. Okay. It was weird. He said to me one time, Spencer, I've got to tell you, I want to hate the Twilight movies, but I can't. Now, Caleb, could you tell us what it is that made it so it was impossible for you to hate the Twilight movies?
I honestly have no idea. I don't think there's anything redeeming about them, and I was fully prepared to hate them. Let's not take any of this to mean that I love them or even actively like them. It was just weird because I went in thinking I will hate this movie, and I walked out thinking I merely slightly dislike this movie, and that it was really strange to me.
Okay.
How was it? Edward Sparkle that got you?
Nope, I can assure you it wasn't.
Was it the way they played baseball in the thunderstorms?
I didn't mind the baseball. I didn't mind the baseball at all.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it was more the Cullens. The Cullens seemed like a pretty cool group. I'd hang out with them.
Yeah.
The problem is when the stars are horrible, but the supporting cast is good, you find yourself in a really conflicted place. And that's what happened to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So it surprised you.
It did surprise me.
So Caleb,
At not being as bad as I thought it would.
Caleb made this observation to me, I think probably 3 Twilights in. So he said it to me.
And there are how many? 5 Twilights?
I think there's 5. Yeah.
At least 5.
I'm pretty
So
sure it's 5.
He said it to me, and my response was, I have no response. I haven't read the books. I haven't seen the movies. I have no reference point. So if Caleb felt that he couldn't hate them, I felt fine. But because of the romantic heart that he has, this is where things got interesting. He said to me, I think we need to watch them together.
Oh, really solidify your bromance.
You're leaving out the best parts. I think I got down on one knee at this point and said, will you watch Twilight with me?
So Caleb, let me tell you a thing about Caleb. Caleb's the kind of guy that when a group of people at work are all going to go out to lunch and you say, Caleb, are you coming? He says things like, I'll meet you there, which is code for I'm not really coming.
Wait for me in the lobby. I'll be right down.
Yeah, it's that. So then you do wait for him, which enrages you because he's really not coming down. So first he's not only not coming, but he's going to make you wait.
Oh, okay.
So
how have you not made friends in the last 12 years? That's weird.
I don't know. It is weird. I don't get it.
So normally with a statement like we should watch them together, I could have taken similar approach and said, I'll meet you there. But Caleb, being Caleb, knew the actual way to respond to a Caleb. So instead of doing that, he said, we will be watching them at your home. He said, I'm already driving to the college Tuesdays and Thursdays. I drive right past your house. So next Thursday night, I will be at your house. So
I just have one question, Caleb.
Yeah.
Why did you want to share this special moment with Spencer?
Spencer's not a bad guy, and Twilight was not a bad movie.
They're both just mediocre?
Well, no, Spencer's pretty cool. So he seemed like the right person to share a mediocre experience with, though, because it would be better.
With Spencer there. Okay, I get it.
So Caleb came to my home, and I recall this interaction. So this is easily 10 plus years ago. And I remember having to have this conversation, overhearing this conversation. My daughter said, "Mom, can I go down and see what Dad's doing?" "No, sweetheart. He's downstairs in the dark watching the vampire movie with his friends." And because they were already a few Twilights deep in the series, we watched them once a week in the dark in my basement together, and nobody in my family bothered us. And I remember watching the first movie, and I had some different thoughts. I thought it very strange. My experience with vampires is limited. I've seen Interview with a Vampire. I've read the book, but I don't go a lot deeper than that. I didn't know that vampires had an affinity for baseball.
Yeah, I should have warned you.
I love baseball. But the thing is that I also didn't realize that the reason why they could only play in the rain was because vampires were so good at baseball and could hit a baseball so hard that only the thunder could muffle the sound of their thunderous at-bats. Is that why you couldn't hate it?
That was probably also part of it, and just the way the author leads you to believe that's going to be an important plot point at some point, and then
it's like watching Mad Men. You're just waiting for it to come back.
Yeah, I love when they put these little red herrings in. They're like, ooh, maybe this means something. Nope.
Nothing. Just for fun. Have you've watched the movies, but did you read the books?
I don't want to answer that.
No, that's an important question.
I read one of them.
Which one?
But it was for a good reason.
There's no shame. I'm not judging. I read all of them.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't seen all the movies.
What was the reason?
All right. So I read it because my ex and I didn't usually read a lot of the same things. So this was a thing that we both read.
So did you read the first one?
I read the first one. No, I jumped to the third.
Oh, you did. Okay.
No, I read the first one, and that first book, not as good as the movie. The movie was, for all of you out there, the movie was better. Sorry,
Wrong.
The movie was less bad.
Wrong. Book was way better than that movie. Rob Pattinson was like the worst, and Kristen Stewart. Ugh.
Hey, when this is done, will you give me more book recommendations, please?
This is why people don't like it.
I will. Since this is the romance category, I will send you all the best romance novels you should read.
Okay.
If you like bodice rippers, they're coming your way.
So we made it through episode 1. We got on to episode 2.
Okay, now another important question before you get there. After episode 1, were you guys Team Jacob or Team Edward?
Turns out you don't even need to pick a side.
No, you do.
No.
Very important. Were you just Team Baseball?
Team Baseball, Team Cullen, yeah.
Okay. So you were kind of Team Edward.
I was more attracted to the muscle guy. Jacob.
So you were Team Jacob.
Jacob.
Cool. Okay, that was very important for our listeners to know this.
Right. So we made it to episode 2. I have no memory of episode 2. What I have a very deep and abiding memory is of episode 3. Because if I'm correct here, at the end, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, for those of you guys who need to tune out now, I'm going to say a thing. If the baseball spoiler wasn't enough. At the end of episode 3, the girl vampire gets knocked up. True?
Yeah.
And
what girl vampire are you talking about?
Or the girl human, Kristen Stewart?
Yeah, it was the human. Come on, guys.
The girl,
Twilight fans.
The girl, no, I don't think that we said that.
Bella got knocked up because for some reason humans and vampires can have babies.
Yeah, but here's what we learned: it was a total cliffhanger. Okay, and the cliffhanger was that the baby was gonna drink blood or something. I feel like in my mind, she's drinking out of a blood straw. Or maybe I made that.
Well, she basically, like, alien style, rips her way out of Bella.
Yeah, but that's like a teaser in episode 3, okay? So what happened then was that Caleb and I finished watching, we were caught up. And the movie, episode 4.
There were no more movies.
There was one coming out in the theater. So some time went by, and Caleb mentioned, as he mentioned just a second ago, his ex. So in between 3 and 4, things didn't work out for Caleb, and he got divorced, but he started re-entering into the dating pool, okay? That's where the bromance was strained, okay? Because I'm fine to let Caleb go date and be on the market. I felt good for him. I was supportive of it. Until one day, Caleb and I were, for some reason, we're at Fashion Place Mall in the parking lot between Nordstrom and Rite Aid or something, that side over there. I remember this. I remember this clearly. Why we were there, what we were doing, I don't remember. But what I do remember is I said to Caleb, Twilight episode 4A is in theaters now. And it seems fitting that we should see it together.
That does seem fitting.
Now, Caleb,
I agreed then, I agree now.
Do you recall what you said to me?
I don't know. I don't recall exactly. I hope it wasn't something along the lines of, I just saw it.
I recall it was very similar to those lines.
With a girl.
With a girl.
Oh, I feel bad to this day. It didn't work out with her.
And here I am, left over.
So have you watched the movie, Spencer?
No.
You left on the cliffhanger?
I have not seen episode
Maybe
4.
whatever her name, ripping her way out of Bella?
Or episode 4B. And you know why I haven't seen it?
Because your heart's broken?
Because I'm waiting for Caleb to tell me he's going to watch it with me.
Oh.
I will cancel the rest of my day and watch it with you right now. I've got extra face masks. I've got snacks. Let's watch it right now.
I'll meet you there.
Oh, that's what that felt like all those years?
So empowering.
I don't know why you guys were complaining so much. That's not that bad. You left me alone. That was the best case scenario.
You gave him what he wanted.
Yeah.
So we don't like to leave the Latchkey Friends on such a downer of an exit. So that relationship did not work out for you. The Twilight one was doomed, and that was your own doing. Clearly, that was karma.
That was my doing. Yes.
Things are in a good spot for you. And recently, we heard from you. In fact, you told Liz and me that you were going to get engaged, and you had a plan to do so.
Yep, that was the plan.
Walk us through a few of those steps there.
So you want the plan or the actual?
I want the plan, and I want Liz to react maybe with her initial reaction.
So the plan was, I go get the ring, obviously, and I keep it hidden. Okay, this is all starting off like any other engagement story, as it should. So my plan was, we were going on a family trip. I'm going to take the ring to Puerto Rico with me. I wanted to go to Culebra because it's beautiful. It's very cool. My favorite beach is there. And on my favorite beach, I was going to have this ring in my pocket, probably pinned in the pocket because we're now entering the ocean. And we were going to be out snorkeling or something. And I was going to,
go engagement ring in your swimsuit pocket. Yeah.
In my swimsuit pocket.
In the ocean.
But pinned inside. It's okay. It's very safe. Mm-hmm. So the plan was go out in the water, and then I would submerge myself, get the ring out, and then come up, basically ring first. Like something like this.
For our audio listeners, Caleb coming out of the sea dramatically.
Yes. Very Little Mermaid. Very, very Little Mermaid. By the way, much better film than Twilight.
Oh,
so I was going to come out with the ring and then really not have to say a whole lot. The ring, at this point, future fiancés have caught on by now. You display the ring and kind of the deed's done.
Oh, is that
so that's why I was going to come out ring first.
Oh, I see.
And I got some pushback on this plan.
Why? Why would you get pushback on that plan?
Thank you. What part, Liz, do you think there are any weak points in this plot or in this plan?
Oh, no, I don't. I'm also going to be sending you my book recommendations soon, too.
Excellent.
So some of the concerns from your friends was you're in a swimming suit in the ocean with a ring in your pocket that could go away. It could just fly away. Anything could go wrong and
never find it again.
But another thing that Spencer loves about me is I'm very confident in myself and my abilities to not lose things or mess things up. It doesn't matter how many times I fail. I always think it's the last time.
Do you know why you worry so much about that? Because
I don't know why that is.
And loses things all the time.
Oh, see, I don't remember the last time I lost something.
I'm projecting.
Or forgot something. Yeah, so it's not on me. So the way it played out was pretty similar to the plan. I modified it a little bit because I had these little voices in my head saying, you're going to lose the ring in the ocean. So I thought I'd compromise and go a little bit into the ocean. So the real scenario played out. We had, so Sarah Jean, many of you may not know her, but she's fantastic. You should meet her. I'm very glad I did. Her daughter was acting as our photographer. So Em and she was in on it the whole time for months. She went with me to find the ring, and we picked this thing out, and they held it for a week or two while we looked for other options. She went with me to pick the thing up. And then she was very excited when I told her she had to guard the ring. She had to be the safekeeper of the ring, until we got to the island, because it could pop out of my stuff, like it could be found if it's in my possession. She was very excited about that responsibility, but she came through like a champ. She gave me the ring on the beach, and I had a safety pin already prepared, and I pinned it in my pocket. And then we convinced Sarah Jean that Em was just going to take a couple pictures of us. So we said, let's go stand in the surf. Let's go, about up to our ankles or our knees, and we'll take a couple of pictures. So we get out there, and I've got the thing. Now it's safety pinned in my pocket, and I couldn't get the safety pin undone one-handed, so I had to act like, I've got like a tag or something poking me. So I'm kind of turned to the side, undoing the safety pin, and now the ring is just in my pocket. Right, just sitting there open in my pocket while I'm standing almost shin deep in the water. I know some people would still be worried about this. So then we get out there, and I acted like I was stepping on something. I said, "Oh, what is that?" And Sergeant's just looking down like, what's going on? So I bend down like I'm going to find something stabbing my foot, and then I kneel down and pull out the ring. And there's a video of this that none of you will ever get to see because I don't have permission. I don't have the rights to the video. But you can see in the video first when it dawns on her what's happening. We had convinced her completely that I'm just not ready. This isn't happening for a while. Soon, but not yet. So she doesn't see it coming in the least. So she realizes I'm proposing, and she was very excited, which it made my day, right? It was a really sweet moment. But then she realizes I'm kneeling in the ocean with, these little waves coming in and hitting us. And so you see where she freaks out and she's like, put it on my finger, assuming, as did all of my friends, that I'm going to drop it.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
It's a very real fear.
You didn't drop it.
I didn't drop it. And she said yes. And so there we go.
So she said yes.
I don't know what happens next.
And you weren't
that's as far as I planned.
Yeah. You weren't concerned about having a safety pin in your pocket.
No, it was closed.
Okay. I'm just asking. I think our viewers want to know.
Safety pin was closed. Ring was secure.
Okay.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. It worked out well.
Well, we're excited for you.
So what's the lesson we learned here?
Well, let's first ask, what's the lesson you learned about bromances?
Yeah, Caleb, let's start with you.
Oh, were there lessons to be learned?
Mm-hmm. This story, what lesson did you learn about your bromance with Spencer?
Well, the person that I saw the fourth Twilight movie with is not in my life, and Spencer is. So I think I've learned that once you do let someone inside, make them a priority. Don't go chasing some person who wants to go see one movie with you and then reveal that they're horrible. Don't do that. Stick with who you know. Don't make new friends.
Oh, that's where that went.
There you go. That's it. That's where we're ending this thing.
Don't make new friends.
Don't make new friends. I think the lesson today is this. When you've got as many friends as you need, cut it off.
No more.
Just be happy for what you've got. Why do you need more friends?
It's a true story.
So they'll follow you on Twitter so you can influence them and get some kind of a deal with Nike? I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
Well, speaking of influence, you guys can become our new Latchkey Friends on social media at Latchkey Friends and potentially get an influencer deal with Nike.
For sure. Go like Latchkey Friends and you'll get an influencer deal with Nike. Right. Maybe Twilight.
I don't feel like we've cast them in a positive enough light that they would be interested in us.
Caleb and I are working on our fan fiction follow-up. It worked for 50 Shades of Grey.
Sure did.
We're not ready to reveal it, but I can. Here's what I'm going to promise.
Oh God, I hope it's a Twilight romance story.
Maybe. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. But
Edward and Jacob sitting in a tree.
I'm gonna promise our listeners and to our viewers that Caleb he's made the promise. He's invited me over for Twilight. There will be a follow-up on episode 4 and episode 4.B.
Okay. It's a promise.
It's a promise. Until then, you can find us on all your social media channels plus latchkeyfriends.com. Head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Give us a listen, Caleb, and a review. And if you guys want to be friends with Caleb, please submit that through the website so we can vet it.
Yes, please do that.
More friends for you, Caleb. That's what we're doing.
Thanks to our Latchkey friend, Caleb, and all of our Latchkey friends. Liz, as always, it's an honor to see you.
Thanks for a great episode, you guys.
Okay, see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.